Hi everyone, we are here today to do this very last one of our Rita Berman spread. This is from Meine Reise Durch Europa. I think in the last video yesterday's I didn't actually say what book it was from, but it would have said in all the video details. And I said yesterday I need to find something really vibrant colours, and I've decided to use these. Sorry, it's a little bit blurred. These are Arteza premium pencils. The colours I have here are slightly different to the ones in the expert set, and I like the premium for sharpening. They go to a nice sharp point, which is what I want. I find the expert ones, they do that, but they lose their point a little bit more quickly. So I just thought I would use these instead. So I am starting with the ginger. I'm going to do this cone. It looks like an ice cream cone to me, like a waffle cone. So I'm just going to get started really. I haven't thought about the background yet. I need to have a think about that to make sure that I sort of leave myself some options colour-wise really. But get going. Now this isn't really a waffle cone colour. We don't have anything really near. So this is the sort of best I can do really. I may add a few other colours in a moment, but I'm just seeing how this looks first. You know, I don't know, I'm trying to think really what the colour is. Not 100% sure. I want it to be a little bit deeper here where it's overlapping, because there'd be a little bit of shadow. And here, look where it's sort of these lines are, because they sort of almost have a sort of stripe, don't they? And I think by the time we've done that, we're probably okay without adding another colour. We'll lose all that detail if we do. So I think it looks a little bit orangey to me, which probably isn't ideal. Might be better with a bit of yellow on top, which I might do. I'm thinking, I don't know if this is going to really show up. This is the Jasmine Yellow, it's very pale. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. You can watch and decide whether you think it's worth doing or not. It seems to just be blending it to me and not really changing the colour very much, but it's up to you. You can decide if you want to do it. Okay, that's my first little bit. I'm also going to use the ginger. What I'm going to try and do is do all the things at the same colour at the same time. It makes it a little bit easier and quicker. I'm going to use the ginger for the sticks, because in the UK our ice lolly sticks used to always be wooden. I don't know if they are anymore because I don't eat ice lollies. Or I think, are they called popsicles in other countries sometimes? Like an iced thing. I don't really like them. I don't like cold, so it's just not for me. Brr, it's too cold. So the cupcake, I'm going to do the case next, and I want to do it red. It looks to me like it would look really nice, sort of red with white dots. So I'm going to use the true red because it's a nice rich red, and I'm going to not press massively hard. I want an intense enough colour so that we can see the colour, but I might want to add some extra dark areas in a minute. I mean, I could use a darker pencil, but I might just use this one. I'll show you. But we'll just get the basic layer down. I don't know, I've decided to go and colour over here for a bit. It's just the way the mind works, isn't it? Just feel more comfortable colouring certain bits. Okay, what I'm going to do is try and make it look a little bit darker on these lines. And I have been absolutely rubbish at avoiding going over those bits that I want to leave white. I may have to go over those in a pen. Now we've got a cherry, and I'm just thinking that a cherry isn't just red. It's not this shade of red. Oh, I'm sorry, my telephone rang, and I'm trying to think about trying to make a cherry colour. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use that magenta, which is the sort of deepest pink, to do my first layer on the cherry. And yes, it doesn't look cherry, I realise that. blunt, but we'll keep persevering like that. And then I'm going to use, I think this might work, the wine red, because it's quite pinky, to add. This is a very intense red, so I'm gonna do it really lightly and sort of build up layers until I think that it's giving me the colour I want. Now, it's obviously quite risky doing this on the picture itself, and you might not end up with the colour that you want. So if you're a little bit nervous, do it on a scrap of paper first and see whether you can create the right colour before you dig in and do it on your book. I'm really happy with that colour. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Now my icing, I want it to be pink, I think. I'm not going to use this deep magenta. I think it's a little bit too much. I want a paler pink. I'm thinking this is the palest pink, I think. It looks it. This is Peony Pink, and I'm going to use this. So we've got almost a stripe. So I might go for pink and white. What I would do is I'll try it and see how it looks. Because if we leave too much white, sometimes it doesn't look that good. But we'll see how it looks. So I'm just blocking in the colour really. We've got a stripe there, like that, and we'll see how that looks. I'm quite happy with that, but what I am going to do is just emphasise it at the bottom, make it a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, that's our cupcake. Now we shall move on to this watermelon lolly. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? Now the seeds will be black. Some watermelon seeds are obviously white, but we're going to use our Noir to make it black. So I'm trying to leave a little white dot in the centre as if it's just reflecting a little bit of light, because the seeds are really shiny, but it's not always easy. Now I can't tell whether that is a seed or a drip of lolly. What do you think? I think it's high up. The seeds are all lower down, so I think it's a drip of lolly. So that's how I'm going to colour it. So there's our seeds. Now we need to do our green part. Now the green part is quite stripy, isn't it, at times, light and dark. So I'm going to pick this one for the darker bit. I think it'll work quite well. This is the jungle green. And I'm just sort of going to, I might actually just do it striped completely. I think it'll be obvious what it is. I mean, obviously it isn't. I assume it isn't supposed to be a slice of watermelon on a stick. I assume it's supposed to be a frozen lolly that looks like a watermelon. So we've got a bit of imagination going on in there. And I'm going to use the spring green for the other stripe. Like that. Now this piece is a sort of rindy piece. It's usually white or cream. I think I'm just going to use my Jasmine Yellow, which is the closest we've got to cream, just to do that a little bit. Not too hard. We don't want it looking too yellowy, but it just looks like we've coloured it. Now the watermelon is what I've been avoiding colouring because I can't see exactly the right colour. I am going to put down a layer of the good old magenta that we used before and see where we go with that. I think it might work. I don't know if it matters if it isn't perfectly watermelon-y. good word. If it's not completely the right colour. I mean, watermelon is a bit redder, isn't it? So maybe we need to use a bit of red after. I always think it's quite a pinky red. And I think we'll go over with the true red. So it's a bit messy, isn't it? We'll go over with the true red because the other red I've got is a tomato red, which is more orangey. So we use the True Red, and I'm going to go quite gently. Just try and darken it a bit, but I want the pink to show through. I think that's working quite well. Looks a bit bright, doesn't it? I know I haven't done this, I'm thinking about it. I think that's okay. So mixing colours is certainly vital when you've only got a few sets of pencils or smaller sets. And I'm just going to use the magenta again over that drip of water. And if you have the luxury of having lots of big sets, which actually I do, you can usually find the colour you need. But I'm trying to help you to sort of adapt if you don't quite have that luxury. Now we've got a lot of flowers here, 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 here and here, and I've decided that I'm going to do them in a purple. That's because none of this food, maybe the macarons, but they're very pale, is going to be purple. You don't get purple ice cream, well, you probably do. So I'm going to do them purple. I'm going to block that in quite a bit. I'm not going to shade on them. I'm just going to do a purple block of colour like that. I could have done them blue as well, because we don't get blue food very much. I think we get blue sort of slush, which is raspberry flavour. I remember having it a little bit as a child, and the colour really I found quite off-putting, but I still drank it. Because the shop I went to usually only had one flavour, so you got what they had or you didn't have it. So if it was blue, you had to just have blue. And of course you'd end up with a blue tongue. But we don't really get lots of blue food. I guess blueberries, but to me they look more sort of blacky purple than blue. Anyway, we're doing the purple now. We may use the blue for a background. I don't know yet. There we go. So those are, oh no, got this one as well. Now I don't want to introduce loads and loads of new colours. So for the leaves on the flowers and the other leaves, I'm going to use one of the greens I used for the watermelon, just so that it all works together. But I need to do the centre of the flowers first before I forget. I didn't tell you. It was Amethyst Purple, by the way. I've got a deeper purple, but it's not the shade I'm looking for. So I'm going to go lighter. I'm going to go with the Lilac. And this lilac is quite pink. I need to sharpen it to get in. So they're a bit lighter in the middle. I think that's quite cute. You could always do it black if you want it darker. You may have a different colour. You've got a different set. As these premium sets vary in what you get. I'm going to use the forest green, I think. No, sorry, it's not the forest green. I'm lying. I'll sharpen it and then I'll show you. The jungle green for the leaves. It's quite a deep green, which means that I can do some elements of shading without, gosh, it's gone very sharp, without having to introduce a new colour if I don't want to. So I'm going to be quite lazy and just make it deeper at the base where the leaves are overlapping each other, and lighter towards the tip without having to add in a second green. As I say, lazy. I think these might be leaves, I'm not sure, but that's how I'm going to colour them. I think it'll work anyway. Whether you choose to make this end or this end darker is up to you. Here it's a bit more obvious that it would be darker nearer the centre part where they're sort of tipped in together. Must be a lot of shade. You can do your leaves different colours if you're not as lazy as me. I love these. It's got like sprinkles on the ice creams. It's great fun. I don't know what colours to do those. We'll have a think in a minute. I guess we need to do a chocolate, won't we? Now these are little macarons. That's how I think you say it. And when I'm watching Bake Off, that's how they say it. I've tried them once I wasn't a big fan. I don't eat a lot of biscuity type things. I'm also going to do the cherry stalk. Sometimes the cherry stalks are actually the colour of the cherry, but that's normally with like a really dark morello cherry, so it's up to you how you choose to do that. Okay, we may do ice cream and macarons similar colours. I've got a strawberry to do. I'm going to do that next actually with the true red. And just put a light layer on and then think about where it might be darker and lighter. So it's going to be a little bit darker at the base where it's near to the ice cream, and then under the leaves, maybe on the edge. We seem to have darkened up most of it, but I'm happy with that. Looks nice. So chocolate ice cream I'm going to do next. I really fancy some chocolate. We've got a dark chocolate brown and a cocoa brown. I'm going to pick the dark chocolate brown because it isn't actually as dark as the cocoa. And ice cream isn't really dark. It's not like it's a piece of chocolate. So there's our dark chocolate brown. And I think I'm going to do this lowest one in the chocolate. I'm going to do a light layer and just see how it looks. As I say, chocolate ice cream isn't normally that dark. I'm just going to darken it a little bit where it's near the cone to sort of indicate shadow, and maybe on the edges a little bit to give it a little bit of shape. But I don't want to make it look like it's a truffle. I think that's fine. Now, with our sprinkles, I am going to do them afterwards with pen. So I'm going to colour over them. If you don't have pen and you want to do them in pencil, do them first and do them. I'll do them first. I'll show you how to do it. That'll be better. So I'm thinking this one has got dots as if it might be mint choc chip actually. Should we do the mint choc chip? So use our dark chocolate colour but make it more intense on this one. So make them into chocolate chips. This might look awful when we finished. We'll see. So there. So we'll do it this way instead. And we've got a mint green pencil somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Mint green. So we'll do it quite lightly to start with, like we did with the chocolate, because ice cream isn't that intense in colour. It does look quite minty though, doesn't it? And just add a little bit of extra colour at the bottom of the edges like we did with the chocolate. Just tidying up my colouring there. A bit messy. You can probably colour over the chocolate chips, but be careful if you're using a smudgy brand of pencil. You might end up smudging that colour. Just be gentle. There we go. There's our mint. Oh, I don't think I'd want to eat that. Now, this one I'm thinking maybe it's raspberry ice cream with bits of raspberry in or something like that. What colour should we do the dots? We'll do them in the pink, I think. We'll make it pink. I'm going to use the crimson red. Oh, it's just broken in my sharpener. That's not good. Hang on. So yeah, I'm going to do the crimson red for the bits and then a lighter pink for the actual ice cream. There we go. So here we go, crimson red. So, whoops, I'll just throw the pencil. So quite intense colour, the sharpening helps with that. I don't know if it looks like strawberry at all, but maybe it'll just look nice. Who knows? I'm just going to sharpen my Peony Pink just a little bit. It's a bit blunt. There we go, that's enough. My sharpener's got a new blade. It's I need to watch out if I don't want a really sharp blade for this because I need to get it light. So we're going to do it lightly like we did the others. A little bit more colour on the edges and bottom again, and hopefully it just makes it look a little more spherical. And we're not going to make it look real because it's, you know, it's a drawing, but we can have a go at making it look prettier. Now this one, now we've got like a sauce with bits and something underneath. I was tempted to do a chocolate sauce, and I think I will. So I'm going to use the dark chocolate brown, whoops, there we go, for all the sauce. I'm going to start it lightly, but it is a piece of chocolate, so like a, well, I'm thinking of there are certain ice lollies that we get here, like a Magnum, where it's an ice cream on a stick covered in chocolate, and that's my sort of thought for this layer of chocolate. I might not do the bit underneath this ice cream, and maybe if we make these dots chocolate chips but we use the cocoa brown, it might just work, I'm thinking. So I'm trying to go in with enough colour so that it looks like chocolate, not like the ice cream, which was a bit paler, and we'll add a bit more as we go. I think I'm going to stop here and do the chips because it's easier to do those first. With the cocoa, I'm going to have to sharpen. And here it is, the cocoa brown. And just make those look dark, and then I'll know how dark to go with this colour. Ooh, that's my mobile phone making a strange noise. So now I can colour over the top of them, because it would only make them more intense, which is fine. I don't know why my phone made that strange noise. Usually it only does that if a call's about to come in, or a text or something. I don't know. Maybe someone sent me a WhatsApp, I don't know. Oh well. It's not my children, they're always on Discord. One of them's in a lesson anyway. Can't remember what he's got this morning. I think he's got physics. There we go. So the dark ones don't stand out that much, but I'm okay with that. If you want to try and make them stand out a little more, then you can do. So I am going to try and make this look like ice cream underneath, and I'm going to use this jasmine again to try and make a sort of creamy colour. I'm not going to press very hard because it's can get quite yellowy, and I want to just be able to put a little bit more colour in certain spots. There, that's it. It doesn't really show at all on the camera as far as I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, there you go. You can see that, I think. Okay, macarons. I'm thinking let's go for a pink one. Peony Pink, just because they're usually really pale. We've got dots, we've got leaves. Let's do the one with the leaves, it looks easiest. I'm going to put barely any pressure on the pencil. I want it to be really light, like that, and make the filling a little bit darker. There we go. A little bit more colour on this edge. There we go. That's that one. Now what should we do? I'm thinking I quite like to do a sort of lilac one. So I think they sometimes come in purple. I'm going to do this bottom one so it's far away from this leaf. I noticed we've got some flower, we've got some leaves here we need to do, I just noticed. So I'm going to keep it pale, not put much pressure on the pencil. Like that. Now I'm thinking, I think that's the bottom. I think the cream bit or whatever, that we can't see it because of the angle. I'm going to just use this pencil to do this bit in a darker. I just want it to look similar. I don't want it to go too dark, to use a darker shade. Okay, and the other one, what colours do they come in? Would it be yellow? Would it be minty green? I don't know. I know. We'll use the lavender. So this is more of a purple. We'll use that. We've got those dots. I'm going to make them a little bit darker. Just filling a bit darker. Yeah, so we now need to go back and do those leaves that I noticed haven't been done. So that's the jungle green that we use for the leaves down here. I'm thinking background, blue. We haven't got any blue in our picture at all, so I'm thinking blue will be good. I'm just looking at the shades that we've got. I think I want just the pale blue. This is the palest, it's called Peacock Blue, and I think that's what I'm going to use. So you can have a look and see whether you think it works. We've got quite a lot of blue backgrounds in this page. I haven't decided what I'm doing with those dots yet. Again, you could colour over them and then use a paint pen to do them, or you could colour them now and in, say, dark blue, and then it wouldn't matter if you coloured over them. It's up to you. I still haven't decided what colour I want to do them. I've just nearly coloured over once. That might mean that I'll have to do them in a colour that works with this colour on top. I can always erase it, of course. Oh, I could do with a drink. I don't know if I've got a cup here, but I'm not sure if it's empty or not. I can have a look in a minute. Starting to feel like my throat needs a drink. Too much talking. I always talk too much though. My parents sometimes apologise for me talking too much. I don't know. This is what I'm like. I sometimes think if people see me in the street that know me vaguely, they think, oh no, I hope she doesn't start talking to me or be here forever. But anyway. It's funny, for someone who talks all the time, I'm at home alone all day long mainly. That's why making videos is good. I get you to talk to instead. I also chat to my sister. We use Facebook Messenger, so we're typing, but it still feels like talking and company. I think that blue has worked out well. I'm really happy with it. But I am going to do those little circles in it's a really pretty colour, which I'm going to use it because it's pretty, and I'm just going to have to hope that it works. And this is Ultramarine Blue. This is sort of purpley blue, and I'm thinking it will bring together the blues and the pinks and purples, I hope. She is quite blue. It doesn't look too purpley. But I don't know what these circles are supposed to be. But maybe it doesn't matter. They're just decoration. You might want to do them pink or red, even yellow, white. I think that any colour would really work. I think white, the only thing is because it goes outside of the background, white might not be ideal. But there we go. I'm just having a quick look to make sure I have finished it all, and I have. So I used quite a lot of different pencils, but I think those Arteza have a nice range of colours for these sort of sweet foody things, so that was really good. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of it, and I hope you get time for some colouring today. Happy colouring!